Hey everyone, Mark Newstater with eXp Realty. It is Friday, February 19th, along with Jaden Bax from Avenue Financial here with another weekly real estate update. Figured we do this on Friday, a little Friday happy hour as we talk about some happy real estate news, right, Jaden?
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It looks like you managed to attend a haircutting establishment to
No, you
get your
just
ears.
you marry a very cheap wife who cuts your hair for you, and there's we run the spectrum, right? Either you go bald and do
Yeah.
it yourself, or you marry a cheap wife that does your haircuts for you.
Yes, we both have low cost hair care solutions. I like it. I like it. All right. Without any further ado, I thought I would chat first about the little teaser I put in the weekly update kind of body for today, which was, with the market as crazy as it is right now, should you wait? Should you sell now? There was a story on Global News, I think last night or the night before, about how hot the real estate market is. Predictions are anywhere from 60 to 90 days that it's going to last like this. Really tough to say, but here's a great example for you, like literally that happened in the last couple of days. So, I had a client thinking about selling, and that was a couple of weeks ago, and then all of a sudden they said, "Hey, Mark, the house right next to us just sold." Like, oh yeah, that's right, it did. And so the sale price of that house has prompted them to really seriously now consider they're putting their house on the market because it got more than what they thought it would get. So therefore, the price that they can get for their home just went up significantly, right? So it's worth a conversation. We've been, I feel like I'm just a broken record. It's worth a conversation. If you've been thinking about it at all, reach out to us and we'd be happy. I've been talking already a lot. Why don't you talk a little bit? What's going on in the mortgage world this week?
Well, no, I think first thing is that we had a fantastic chat with a prospective client today that really understood, had her ducks in a row, and she wanted to get
Mm-hmm.
approved before she started looking at houses, before she started this process, and it was just a breath of fresh air of oh, thank you that you're coming forward with this. This is fantastic. So
Yeah.
really looking forward to working with her. Um, got her set up on my portal, so we'll have something worked out through the weekend so that she's ready to make some decisions for next week. And I'm just seeing, same kind of thing. You think the rates can't get lower, and they keep going down. Uh, and so I'm especially seeing that in the last week or so on the uninsurable side of things. So what is
Okay.
uninsurable? Uninsurable is 30-year amortization. Uninsurable is a refinance, so you own your home and you're taking equity out.
Okay.
Uh, and those rates have dropped significantly, well under the 2% mark now as well. And it's just, I think it's just such a fantastic thing for cash flow, right? So if you have that 20% down payment, you can avoid paying the kind of CMHC mortgage insurance fees, but then you can also push out your amortization to 30 years. And the reason that I love this is we've just gone through a pandemic and
Yeah.
things, people who expected to be making a certain amount of income all of a sudden weren't. And so if you have a 30-year amortization, you can have as low as possible of monthly payments, which is a fantastic thing for when things get a little dicey. But at the same time, everybody that I work with has prepayment privileges. So if you want to
Yeah.
bump up your payments, if you want to do a lump sum against the principal, you can still be super aggressive at paying down your mortgage, but there's that guarantee of a low monthly payment, as low as possible throughout the life of the mortgage. And I love that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great advice. So reach out to Jaden with any questions that you might have on that. And yeah, this is a great time to be, if you're within a year of, your mortgage being done, whatever the case might be. But great information again. Let's take a look at our weekly stats. And I'm going to just tease again that we're actually going to look at that. As I mentioned, that global news story talked about what the month to date in February has been. Has thought, it's been a couple of days. Let's pull those stats. We're going to get to those right at the end. But here are our weekly stats. Not seeing a whole lot of change except for about 50 more listings than we had last week. in terms of new detached listings hit the market, but our solds plus pendings, again, well eclipsed our new listings. Probably, I think we're about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks into this now. We're into the new year where we're continually having weeks where all the new listings in terms of total sales and pendings are being gobbled up during those weeks. So expires a few more this week, nothing of huge concern there. Our total detached listings of 1618. So you do see a rise there from the week prior of 1555. So this is the highest we have been, I believe, all year for detached listings. It's all relative. We're talking about 70 listings higher than we were last week in a city of 1.4, 1.2 million, whatever we are. And this is just Calgary. This doesn't even include Airdrie. So that's Airdrie's going on fire too. And then our total listings with detached, apartment, row townhouse, duplex, semi-detached, 4,070. Again, just a bit of an increase there. So nothing crazy compared to some of the years where we've seen 5,000, 6,000 listings on the market. I'm going to take that off the screen, and now I'm going to get to this cool little story about February. Give me 1 second as we kind of take a look at what the market has been in February so far. We're, of course, going to wrap this up for you at the end of the month, but let's take a look at what February has been so far. So very interesting. The story is correct. The news was right. Our detached sales in 2020, we had 403 at the same period. So January 1st to 19th of 2020, we had a total of 403 detached sales. 2021, we're up 77% to 715. Apartment, duplex, row townhouse, these are segments that have struggled mightily over the last few years. 2020, we had 178. This year, we're up 69% to 301. So again, it's continually happening. The biggest question and the biggest thing I would say to you is that if you are thinking about selling, we don't know how long it's going to last. Put your home on the market now. I think I talked about this last week or the week before. Exactly for this reason, we actually pushed back by a month a listing date of my new listing in Spring Willow, just to make use of the market, the amount of activity on the buyer side, and the lack of new inventory coming on the market on the seller side. Interesting, hey, Jayden, that February stat?
Yeah, it's crazy, and I think we've been saying it week after week. Anecdotally, it's obvious in the way that we've been working. I got patched into a phone call at 10:30 the other night, Mark. So Mark is burning the midnight oil to find all the right answers for you guys out there, and patching me in whenever he needs another opinion, right? So it's been just positive of ways, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a really interesting topic, which we were talking about with this client buying an actual grow op. It is currently a grow op. It's fenced off. And, how do you do that? How do you finance it? If anyone's ever been interested in doing that as a flip, as a renovation, whatever. But why don't we talk about that next week, Jayden? We had some interesting conversations this week about grow ops, so we can talk a little bit more about that on next week's show. We'll be back to Thursday next week. But great information as always, and please reach out to us, Facebook, YouTube. Thanks for watching this later as well if you didn't catch it live. Jayden, have a great weekend. Maybe the Flames will actually show up tonight or tomorrow. Who knows?
One can only wish, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you enjoy it, and we will talk to you next week. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, guys.